There's a lot happening at Wimbledon right now, and most of it is building toward one question nobody can answer yet. We'll get there, but first, let's talk about the player finally breaking a curse that's followed him for nearly a decade. Alexander Zverev has played Wimbledon 9 times. 9. And in all 9 of those trips, he has never once made it past the 4th round. Last year was especially brutal. He was knocked out in the very first round by fellow tour player Arthur Rinderknech. So when Zverev cruised through his second-round match on Thursday, beating Frenchman Valentin Royer in straight sets, 6-1, 6-3, 7-6, it meant a little more than just 2 points in the standings. He's now through to the third round again, something he's done before, but this year feels different. Here's why: the 2 biggest threats to his title hopes, defending champion Jannik Sinner and Novak Djokovic, are both sitting on the other half of the draw. That means Zverev literally cannot run into either of them until the final, if he even gets that far. Zverev himself sounded cautiously optimistic afterward, saying that if he keeps playing like this, he genuinely believes this could finally be his year at Wimbledon. For a player who's carried the label of best player to never win a major for years now, a clean, favorable draw at the one slam that's given him the most trouble is exactly the kind of opening he's been waiting for. Now let's talk about someone who took the opposite emotional route to the same result. Iga Swiatek's opening match at this Wimbledon was a rollercoaster. She needed 3 sets and looked close to tears at points just to get past Taylor Townsend. So her second-round match against former world number 1 Karolina Pliskova was a completely different animal. Swiatek dismantled her, 6-1, 6-3, in just 69 minutes, barely breaking a sweat. It extends an absolutely absurd streak. Swiatek has now reached at least the third round in 26 consecutive Grand Slam tournaments. A run stretching all the way back to 2019. But here's the part that should have you paying attention this weekend. Her next opponent, on Saturday, is 29th seed Alexandra Ila from the Philippines, who just battled through a 3-set war to eliminate Maya Joint. Yes, the same Maya Joint who knocked out Serena Williams earlier this week. Ila and Swiatek have actually split their 2 career meetings dead even. Ila pulled off a stunning upset over Swiatek in Miami during her fairy tale run to the semifinals there. And Swiatek got her revenge on clay in Madrid a few months later. Grass is a completely different surface from either of those, which makes this rubber match genuinely impossible to call. So which version of that rivalry shows up on Saturday? That's this weekend's must-watch. While all that was unfolding on the singles side, a much quieter storyline was building that could have massive implications for the world rankings. Elena Rybakina, the 2022 Wimbledon champion, breezed past Katie McNally 6-1, 6-2 to reach the third round. Rybakina is currently the world number 2, and here's the thing. A strong enough run through this tournament could actually be enough to knock Aryna Sabalenka off the top ranking spot altogether. No fireworks, no controversy, just a former champion quietly building toward something that could reshape the entire women's tour by the time the trophy gets lifted. There was also an emotional moment away from the results sheet entirely. British veteran Dan Evans played the final match of his career at Wimbledon this week, closing out a journey that included a Davis Cup title with Great Britain back in 2015. Fittingly, 2-time Wimbledon champion Andy Murray showed up to mark the occasion, visiting the locker room in a show of support. And later in the week was spotted courtside alongside the Princess of Wales, watching British hopeful Katie Swan's second-round match. It's a reminder that even in a tournament full of chaos and controversy, Wimbledon still knows how to slow down for these kinds of send-offs. And then there's the chaos. Nick Kyrgios made his first appearance at the All England club in 4 years. Ever since he lost the 2022 final to Djokovic in what was, at the time, the best result of his career. Injuries have hammered him ever since, and his ranking has collapsed all the way down to 899 in the world. He wasn't handed a wildcard for singles this time around, so he entered the doubles draw instead, teaming up with Alexander Bublik. The pairing lost in straight sets, 6-3, 6-4, to 6th seeds Marcelo Arevalo and Mota Pavic. But the scoreline wasn't really the story. After getting broken early in the second set, Kyrgios had words for the umpire, telling him flatly, "You can fine me, I honestly don't even care." It's classic Kyrgios. He was fined 3 separate times during that same 2022 run, twice for swearing. And it's exactly the kind of moment that splits tennis fans right down the middle. Some love that he's still that unfiltered, chaotic presence on tour. Others think it's exactly the kind of behavior tennis should have moved past by now. Either way, love him or hate him, Kyrgios being back in the headlines within one single match tells you everything about why people can't look away from him. Okay, now, back to that question we opened with. Today, Friday, Serena Williams and her sister Venus are stepping onto a court together for the first time in 4 years. This is massive. Together, these two have won 6 Wimbledon doubles titles. 6! That ties them with Suzanne Lenglen and Elizabeth Ryan for the most doubles titles by any pair in the tournament's history. And it doesn't even count their 3 Olympic gold medals as a duo or their combined 7 singles trophies at the All England Club. After Serena's singles comeback ended in a 3-set loss to Maya Joint on Tuesday, most people assumed that might be it for her at this tournament. The match itself generated plenty of its own commentary. Tennis analyst John McEnroe was reportedly irritated by a post-match question directed at Williams during the BBC's broadcast. And Martina Navratilova, who knows a thing or two about competing well past 40, offered her own breakdown afterward of what Williams was missing physically against a 20-year-old opponent. But the real twist came after the cameras stopped rolling. Serena tweaked her right knee late in the first set of that very match. For a few days, her doubles reunion with Venus was genuinely in doubt. Tournament organizers appear to have given her every extra hour they could, pushing the sisters' opening match back to today specifically to give that knee more time to recover. Both sisters received their spots here on wildcards, and by all accounts this run means something personal, too. Serena has spoken about being motivated in part by watching Venus's own doubles success last season, and by her own daughter's encouragement to get back out there with her sister one more time. So here's where we actually stand right now. We don't know yet if Serena's knee will hold up. We don't know if these two, at a combined age of 90, can still find that old magic against a solid, unseeded South American pairing in Solana Sierra and Camila Osorio. What we do know is that center court, or wherever this match lands, is going to be absolutely electric the moment they walk out. For years since these two shared a court, 6 Wimbledon titles between them as a team. And a knee injury that could end the story before it even really starts. That's the real headline of this Wimbledon so far, not just who's winning, but whether one of the greatest doubles partnerships in tennis history gets one more chapter. We'll be watching, and we'll bring you what happens the moment it's confirmed.